Yeah, I forgot about this. Okay, so you guys know Neil Brennan has a brother, right? Kevin Brennan. So apparently, and thank you to whoever sent this to me. I forget who it was. So I believe Kevin, who's Neil Brennan's, Kevin also does stand up, okay? He had Jeff Dye call into a show and admit he lied to Rogan. We got to hear this.
Jeff, you're on the air.
What up, doggy?
I've not got to hear this yet.
The truth is, I was maybe talking out of school saying that I was going to move to Texas because I was all excited about looking for homes. My fan base, not to brag, Kev, but they've got money. Like a lot of like conservative rich people like my comedy. So I thought it was going to be this kind of like, we're all afraid of big, scary Gavin Newsom. Let's flee California. Like, I don't know. I guess what my haters will say is another failed joke by me. But I thought it was going to be funny. I get a little extra money in my pocket. I thought my rich fans would be like, yeah, Jeff, enjoy Texas and give me some scratch. But instead, a bunch of fucking Reddit trolls and fat lesbian comics from the
Whoa, you two turned the service. I just got a warning. They're a protected class. Those fat lesbians.
My fault. I didn't mean that.
Yeah,
I took mine down just because it seemed like an overwhelmingly negative response, and everyone being like, "This fucking guy has a Cybertruck, and he has a nice home, and I don't need the money." They were right.
You know what's funny is fat lesbians are more conservative than Jeff Dye. They're wearing like biker jackets and getting in fistfights outside bars. They're like eating out pit bulls and making creamed corn in big weird pots and going to jail and just committing domestic abuse. They're running valet companies. They don't know the fuck you are, Jeff. Only losers who are obsessed with hating comedy, much like myself, know who you are, Jeff. That's all it is.
warning. They're a protected class. Those fat lesbians.
My fault. I didn't mean that.
Yeah,
I took mine down just because it seemed like an overwhelmingly negative response, and everyone being like, "This fucking guy has a Cybertruck, and he has a nice home, and I don't need the money." They were right.
I need the money.
As a goof, I was doing it as a little goofy.
Okay, so
thing.
so if you would have gotten a lot of money, would you have like more seriously committed to moving?
If I'd have gotten the full amount, yeah, I would have kept it. I wouldn't have refunded everybody. I'd have laughed and been like, successful troll. But the fact that...
Wait, does he not have enough money to move? Dude, it's like moving across Texas is like $5,000. It's not crazy. I'm trying to figure out what his play is now. What was his play with the I think it's kind of sounding like he actually started the GoFundMe because he needed the money to move. He's broke. Okay.
Like so many, I do care.
How is he broke?
Like I don't want everyone pissed off. All these people getting angry. So
look, LA's expensive. He has a $1,400 payment on his Cybertruck, $400-$500 insurance a month. He's got to have some like TV money and like some residuals from some other stuff, and then he gets spot pay. He does the road, whatever that means. Maybe he's just buying jackets all the time. I don't know. Surely he has like a few. Surely he's got like $4,000 laying around, right?
It's just in my best interest just to take it down.
Okay, so yeah, that brings up a point. So you were trying to raise like 25,000, right?
We just picked that number. I didn't even set it up. My friend did.
Okay, so okay, but if you hit the goal, do you have?
This is the classic. Like, I didn't even want to be an actress. My friend dared me to go on an audition, and then I did. I got an agent. I went on the audition. And I got the movie, and I'm famous. That's always my friend told me. I was dared.
Okay, so okay, but if you hit the goal, do you have to move then?
I guess. I don't know how it works. I don't really know. I didn't think about it much. I just kind of was doing it. I mean, I guess you'd have to move. Yeah. So you think my haters would contribute to it, don't you think? You think they'd be like, yeah, get his ass out of here. Let's they don't want me in LA, so go ahead. And
Yeah, because if you set it up and then you don't move,
Good audio.
that's clearly a grift. Especially
she doesn't even. Howie Mandel's daughter didn't even care about the subject. She was almost just being a little like, let's try to get our own clickbait, and it pissed me off.
well, she does. Howie Mandel's daughter does have a sick kid. You know that, right?
Don't really care.
Oh, what?
Well, why would that change? So
No, I'm saying maybe she's preoccupied. Maybe she didn't do her homework because she's got to deal with her sick son.
Yeah, we've all got stuff, Kev.
Yeah, you don't have sick kids. You don't have sick kids, though.
I know I don't. But
Anyway, so when she asked the question,
my
huh?
dad just died, Kevin. I don't want anyone making fun of me for creating a GoFundMe. So my dad died. Everybody, leave me alone.
Yeah, but that's different. That's different than having a sick kid. Your dad's supposed to die.
What's up with the sick? Now I gotta investigate this.
Jeff,
now.
you're on the air.
I gotta investigate this now, folks. I don't think he's thought about a single thing he's ever said in his life. He might be missing a prefrontal cortex. This is an incredible guy. I mean, folks, have you ever seen anybody like this? Have you ever seen anybody who thinks less about the things that come out of their mouth? I like to call this show that I do stream of unconsciousness. That's what it feels like. But him, there's no antenna. There's no nothing. He's the closest thing we have to the caveman. It's caveman comedy. Jeff Dye, Howie Mandel. I think if you asked him, what did you just say 20 seconds ago, he would forget. It's a bit like a goldfish speaking. Man, how do these guys... Dude, Howie Mandel and like these people, they go on Rogan. How does this have as like less views than some Lemon Party episodes? Like we're nobody. We are nobody. These people are on Kill Tony, Rogan all the time. He was on huge hit shows. Why does no one... These guys should be bodying us. Absolutely bodying us.
Mark Maron was here, and Mark Maron is getting a lot of kickback for his views.
That's how it goes.
Which aren't positive.
I gotta say, I hate these shows where it's like, it's me and my daughter. Why does she get to sit next to you? Because of she was in your balls at one point? Oh, she was in your balls, so now she gets to sit here. Cool.
That was funny that
Cool.
you asked him, you said, like, you've had problems with comedians. I think that's how you phrased it.
Yeah.
And then he, instead of going through the library of comics that he's had problems with, immediately he goes, I don't think so. I mean, there was this one guy talking shit, Jeff Dye. I was like, what are you, we're starting at me? Like, you had a whole podcast dedicated. Like, WTF was originally supposed to be him going like, hey, how have I wronged you? Like, let's work through it, bud. Like, kind of making amends. But he didn't think of any of those scenarios. He immediately went to a guy that he didn't even know the name of, allegedly, until like a week ago.
Your feelings are hurt very badly, Jeff. Your feelings are hurt very badly. These guys are look, I'm a sensitive guy. These guys, it's on another level.
Before it.
I think that's because, and one of the reasons he brought that up, did he post or did you post on Instagram? You ran into him in the hall at the Comedy Store in the back.
I posted that we buried it. That things were good. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, that's what fascinated me.
Sure.
And that's what I brought.
That's the story we should be telling.
But I didn't know there was a fight. So I just saw, and the way you posted it.
Yeah.
You said you were bearing the hatchet, and I think I was trying to insinuate what was the hatchet.
Oh, yeah. So maybe he knew you were...
Yeah, Howie's a snake. Anything he says, he's just trying to get attention. He's trying to make money. He owns like 80 apartment buildings or something in Los Angeles. It's crazy. The amount of take that guy is into. He's got his hand in everybody's pocket. I've never met him. I imagine I would absolutely detest him. Absolutely detest.
We're talking about that.
I didn't tell him that, but that was the thing.
Oh, yeah.
This
Any comic who's good with money, I have nothing but disgust for. If you're supposedly a really funny, creative person, but you're also great at like running a business and understanding the markets and being a landlord and good at making investments, if you have the money, that just means to me, you're a psychopath. You're a lizard. You're a lizard person. You're a psychopathic, cold-blooded. You got scales on your belly. You got to cut your talons every morning. You got big, long claws. You're a Komodo dragon. Howie Mandel is a lizard. He sleeps under a red light. He bathes on a big red rock. And he's disgusting. That disgusts me. Being funny means making bad decisions. Sorry. It's what it is. Otherwise, you know what? Otherwise, how about we let everybody on Wall Street start doing the stand-up? How about we let them start writing the jokes? How about everybody at Goldman Sachs? They start taking to the stage. How about them? You're a psychopath.
is before,
You're an utter psychopath.
you know, he was promoting his special, and you know,
Now
I
he's
know,
just going out.
Jeff Dye, not good at comedy and bad at money. That's interesting. And he has success, supposedly. It's very fascinating. Very interesting. This is the space Jeff Dye resides in. Not a good businessman, not good at marketing himself, not good at comedy, not good at writing jokes, yet he's here. Very interesting phenomenon. He's very late to the game. He's always late to the trends. He has no idea what's going on. He just found out who Jesus Christ was 2 days ago. He just figured out people have been moving to Austin and have started to lean more conservative. Why is he here? Fills me with existential dread. Why is Jeff Dye here?
After
Why is he
everyone.
here?
It's crazy.
Austin and all those,
Yeah,
all those
well, I
other
don't know
people.
why he'd choose to do that. I thought that was a good story and a true story is that, like, I also took a lot of responsibility in that post and just in my own life was like, I was aware that any problem I had with Mark, he didn't care about and it had nothing to do with me and probably wasn't personal and it was my shit.
What I have no idea what it was.
It was just when I
Schoolmate.
was young, I looked up to him, and he was very rude to me. That's the whole story.
But
and
you said that
held-
publicly?
Oh yeah, and I held on to it for 15 years because I like more of my comedy is more of like finding like a
Dangerous injustice collector. I think if you're in a 3-letter agency and you're watching the show, you can keep an eye on Jeff. Keep him on a list. Go to his internet history. Just make sure he's not buying gunpowder and things like that.
double standard and something.
Right.
And I thought it was interesting as a fan of Mark Maron and listening to WTF.
Look how bored she is. Look how bored
Finding, like,
your,
a double standard
your
in
Nepo
something.
daughter
Right.
is.
And I-
Look at her. Cross, looking the other way, frowning. These people are just born on a big bag of money and it's so undeserving. These two, I don't know how either of these two have you're looking at probably billionaires. Probably close to $1 billion right there. Look at that. Just a worthless mind.
It was interesting as a fan of Mark Maron and listening to WTF, he would often contradict himself, or there'd be some sort of double standard of like he would go on
I mean, this is what you want to do. You want to be like the Jewish Mr. Robotnik.
because standard in something.
Right.
And I
This is what you want to. This is your legacy. I'm like a Jewy Mr. Robotnik. I'm a guy who tortures woodland creatures and hates. I don't get, what is that? What is the John Deere shirt? Why is he still doing this? Why does he have to still be relevant 5 decades later. It's all very
thought
strange.
it was interesting as a fan of Marc Maron and listening to WTF.
I wonder if these people, if they didn't keep moving and do, comedy, have a podcast, try to be relevant, I wonder if they would start chopping people up and putting them in coolers and burying them in their backyard.
He would often contradict himself, or there'd be some sort of double standard of like he would like meet some rock star and then be like, that guy was an asshole to me, and I'm like, yeah, doesn't that disappoint?
What happened to you? What was your exact? What
The
happened?
exact thing was that I was a open micer at Giggles, and he was the headliner that came through
Giggles?
in Seattle, Washington, and this is probably 2005.
Okay.
I mean, a long time ago, and that's all it was. It just didn't go the way I wanted it to go.
You went up to him?
Oh, so I was one of the opening comedians. I was terrible. I probably had no business doing a weekend, but I was like an open micer and like hungry and excited.
You think the drama would be interesting, but boring. What is the thing? They tried to get drama about him moving to Austin, though? That I gotta find out. And then he says he doesn't care that her kid is sick or something? Something about Burkrow. Really, I just don't care, man. These clips, 200 views. Jesus. Sal's a nice guy. I wonder how he's doing. I haven't spoken to him in a long time. Yes, on Bill O'Reilly. These clips get like 100 views. Just stop, dude. You can't be relevant for 50 years unless you're Bob Dylan. You got to reinvent yourself. You can't just keep. I don't know, man. These people just never stop. They're just the biggest narcissists. They can't just sit under a tree and have a really nice sandwich. That's the weird thing too. Like, they have all this money. They could go occupy themselves. They could travel anywhere. They could do anything, and they don't. They just want to do a podcast. They just want to talk to. They want to talk to Bill O'Reilly about Zoran Mamdani. Awesome, man. Then what is the money for? Can I have it? You people have no taste, no interests, no skills. Let me have the money. Let me have it. There's a lot of cool shit I want to do. I could have feeders all over the world. I could pay and salary feeders to feed different races of people in every country, and we could have live 24/7 webcams with microphones. We could watch them eat. We could watch them sleep, watch them bathe. Think of that. A whole network. One person per country. Truman Show style, but for fatties. 400 or 500 pounders. Every day we eat good. Them eating in their car, going to the hospital, taking weird sponge baths. Their caregivers having to wipe their ass. Imagine TLC, but it's 24/7 Truman Show, around the clock. The Goo Man Show. How's that? That's a good idea. See, but I don't have Howie Mandel's money. Howie Mandel has Howie Mandel's money. What does he do with it? Well, he interviews Cheryl Hines about God only knows. He interviews Cheryl Hines and they cut a clip and it gets 50 views. That's awesome. Good for you guys. Good for you guys.